actually my first time doing something like this.
Yeah.
Like I've been on camera, but I'm like super camera shy and everything. Like, oh shit, I think I was super camera shy when 1320 came and shot the video and everything, and I'm like, oh my god, this guy's a big deal. Like, like I watched him before YouTube started, on the page Street Fire, and then we started talking about Street Fire page and everything. It's like, he's like, dude, I used to post videos on there and everything, all the roll races in Texas and stuff. I was like, man, dude, I've been watching you since before YouTube, man.
Yeah, like when you had to log into a website.
Yeah, literally. I had a username, everything logged into Street Fire page, watched all the drag racing and stuff. I'm just like, oh man. He's like, man, I feel old. I was like, dude, same. I feel old too, like thinking about it before YouTube and everything, you know? Yeah,
because there's a lot of that. Like, I remember the first login I ever made, this is the most ridiculous thing actually. There's a website, which now obviously is a YouTube channel, which is now obviously a lifestyle brand, like everything evolves, right? And so be it. Like, there's a page called Full Boost on Australian drag racing, but it's obviously drag racing. They don't really do any illegal stuff, right? But the first website I ever had to log into was Full Boost. And my brother at the time had a Hyundai Accent. Which I think they're still called accents in America, right?
Yeah.
So he had a Hyundai Accent. It was like the 2001 model, which, to be honest, that's probably the best looking one. Like, I really liked them, and I always felt that. I always, like, later on, maybe not always, but later on in life, I looked at that shape of that Hyundai Accent. I said, man, if that would have had a Japanese badge on it, heaps of people would have bought it. Yeah. Like, it was a 1.8 litre front wheel drive, double overhead cam, like small, maybe just under a ton car, manual, and it was a good thing. Like, it was EG Civic sized, like with a little bit more boot, right? And they're not a bad looking thing. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with the WRC version of that car. It was it was like, because you know how we had two peaks of rally? I don't know how much you're into rally, but there was like Group C, and then like Group A and all that sort of stuff, and it was really hectic, right? And then that was obviously when they're like, we should probably make some rules, right? And then later on, much less power and everything else, we had Bug-Eye WRXs, TMEs, the Peugeot 206, even the, what's it called? What's it called?
Didn't they have like the Ford Escorts too?
Ford Escorts too, They were the sick, like everything was just mad.
Yeah,
and that, like,
boxy and stuff like that, wide body.
Correct. So that was like that 2000 era. So that's when that Hyundai was competing in WRC very early on. And the WRC version of that car looks mad. So I actually really like this car. So my login for fullboost.com was Accent Turbo. It's so bad. That was it. And it's like, my brother probably doesn't even know that. And it's because, like, I was fanboying his Hyundai because I really liked the car.
Yeah.
Fast forward, oh my God. Fast forward how many years? Honestly, 11 years after he had that car, maybe. We ended up, I bought one off Facebook Marketplace for $700, right? Get this. Yeah, I bought it for $700 and then I cashed back the registration. So I ended up paying like $200 for this car.
Ooh.
My brother-in-law was like, here's a steering wheel. Here's a, I don't even know what boss kit I used, but he's like, here's a steering wheel, here's a seat. We put a harness in it. And we took it, we did a bunch of track days in this thing.
Oh, shit.
And we couldn't kill it, bro. We could not kill this car. And, like, we put, like, semis on it, like old semis. Like, we picked up old semis from an old tyre shop, put them on EK stockies, 4x100. Put them on this thing, and we just took it to the track. Like, we put it on a trailer, and we took it to the track. And we hammered this thing's life. It never gave up. I put a cage in it, so I paid more for the roll cage than I paid for the car.
Jesus.
Yeah, man. And we just hammered this thing, and it never blew up. Because those little 1.6 litres, I'm pretty sure, are very loosely based on the 4G63. Because Hyundai and Mitsubishi did a lot of stuff during the 90s together. Yeah.
You know what was it for me back in the day with the Hyundais and stuff like that? Was the Hyundai Tiburon.
Oh, yeah. That was.
Dude, I remember, I think it was like a Import Tuner magazine. There was a Hyundai Tiburon that got featured, and I was like, oh my God, the body lines, the kit for this thing looks amazing. Longest time, I wanted a Hyundai Tiburon.
They're a cool thing, dude.
Yeah, they look good and everything, but they look like they would be rear-wheel drive, but they weren't. They're front-wheel drive.
Yeah.
And then, I got into Hondas and everything because my brother and his friends and stuff. And then I just moved away from the Hyundai Tiburon. I was like, I don't care about them.
Yeah.
I was like, I love Hondas. Hondas. EGs, EKs and stuff like that. Integra Type Rs and stuff.
Yeah. Because a lot of, in that time, in that like early 2000s, there was a lot of that big body front wheel drive things like Celica's, Preludes, Tiburons. What else did you have back then? You had
the Integras.
The Integras, They were a little bit smaller, but still the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? Same sort of cut. MX6s.
Yeah.
Mazda MX6s. They were crazy. So my brother-in-law had, he still has it. Actually, he still owns it. This is the craziest thing ever. So he's got I think they're called GDs. So my first car, and I think I've maybe spoken about this in the podcast before, my first car was an MX6 Turbo. And I don't think they sold those in the States. I don't know if you guys got them in the States.
Let me look it up. What is it? MX6?
MX6s, yeah. So I had an MX6 Turbo that had a 2.2
Mazda?
Mazda, yeah. Or Mazda.
Oh, yeah. We had these.
Yeah.
We had these.
Yeah, so I had one of those.
Super rare, though.
Yeah. Front-wheel drive, four-wheel steering, 2.2 litre turbo. And it was the only car until I saw, like in JZXs later on in my life, that had oscillating air vents. So it's the only car ever sold in the Australian domestic market with oscillating air vents.
Oh.
Yeah, crazy. So then I had one of those, and he had the V6 one, which was the later shape. And it's like, I've always thought that if that car was rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, they would have sold
that would be sick. That would look so cool.
Yeah, they would have sold so many of them. But they were an impressive car. Those front-wheel drive MX6s, 2.5 litre V6. So this thing loved to rev.
Whoa.
And he did this, like, accidentally did this header combo. Of course he's going to claim that he did it. It's like, no, I meant to. But he just bought whatever he had available, really. And he had headers and had, like, a full system. And this thing was, like, it sounded unreal. Like, after 4.5K, because I think it had, I could be wrong, I'm sure when I become famous enough, people are going to correct me in the comments. But I'm pretty sure I had, like, a dual-stage throttle body situation. So it would have, like, it had a very complex throttle body. So then, like, as it got into higher revs, it would open a secondary throttle body or something to that effect. Because as you remember in the 90s, like, Japan was just going nuts with technology.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we'll try this, we'll try that, you know, sequential turbos in the Supras and compound turbos in this and twin turbos in that and everything.
RX-7 FDs, twin turbos.
Yeah, like everything.
Supras, twin turbos.
Correct.
Aristos, twin turbos.
Twin turbos, yeah. Everyone, they were just going mad with all this different technology.
Yeah.
And this was one of them in order to improve throttle response, I guess. And but that thing, like when it would sing, it sounded unreal, bro. It actually sounded really good. And it wasn't a slow car. They were a respectable, I don't know what the figures are, I don't have them with me, but I'm sure it'd be at least like 220 or 250 horsepower, maybe not 250, but it was a fair amount of power. Full steering, they look great, sunroof, like real nice, had their flowing continuous console like a Supra. So they were nice looking cars. And it was just like, you know, they weren't that popular, but for whatever reason, in Australia, if you found one, they were always immaculate. I don't know why. It's one of those cars that I'm sure there's cars in the American market as well that, like, for whatever reason, they're always immaculate.
Can't think of any, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, let's pretend there is. But they're always, I don't know why. Maybe the sort of like demographic of the people that buy them, whatever. But you would always find really nice ones. His one ended up having 300,000 Ks. And this is when we, we used to go street racing, not to the same level as street racing to this day.
Yeah. It was so much simpler back then.
Man, everywhere.
You didn't need 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 horsepower and everything.
No. You were just
roll racing and shit.
You had fresh license. Yeah. Fresh license.
Just like almost a stock power and everything.
Yeah.
160 to 200 horsepower.
Max.
All right, 1, 2, 3, go.
Go, man. And you were young. It was fresh. It was fun. You had the tunes. You had this. You had that. It was really good. And he was a vicious driver. So then he used to his thing was that he would always pull cars second and third. So this car was it had a really good pull in third, and then in fourth, if it wasn't in front, he wasn't going to lose. So then he would always really depend on the launch and whatever. And we used to launch our car so hard. So when I first got my license, I thought best thing to do is just bounce off limiter and then clutch drive. I mean, how else are you meant to launch, right? Like, and they're all front wheel drive, so you just do this.
You got the steering going like this and everything, and it's bounce like.
Yeah. Oh, look, we thought that was the way. And so then he used to just absolutely mangle second gear, and he blew up 2 gearboxes in that car. Yeah, he did 2 gearboxes in that thing. He used to just blow them up because he put a heavy duty clutch in it, and just every time not every time, but it wouldn't take long for this thing to just absolutely grenade itself.
Second gear has left the chat.
Yeah, and it was good though. It was a cool car. It looked good. It sounded great, and it was marginally still like gearing wise. It was faster than the turbo one that I had. Over time you realise if you could have done a bit more with the turbo car, you definitely would have beat the V6 car. But for an NA 2.5 litre, it was real revvy. It handled really well. It was a cool car. It was a cool car, and I think without getting too far away from where we originally were, is that like these front wheel drives, these big body front wheel drives were super popular in that sort of time. And they were cool cars. And I think like everybody kind of goes through that phase, right? Like what's accessible to you now, at the time, when you're 18, 19, you can get a little bit of money together. Like that MX-6 Turbo I bought for 700 AUD, because now we're like multi-currency conversation. Yeah. So we're going to talk AUD, yen, and
USD and stuff.
But it was 700 AUD. I don't know what the conversion is for USD. But
don't know back then.
yeah. But, for the field, $700. And that was a government handout. So we had a prime minister at the time that was doing a handout to anybody that was on what was called the youth allowance. So they used to give you a youth allowance if you were in school, just to help, I guess, whatever.
That must be nice. We didn't have anything like that.
Yeah, it was nice. But then obviously that's what they were doing for votes. So they were like, you give them youth allowance now. In a couple of years' time, when it comes time to vote, they're also going to vote for the same party. Because they gave us money for no reason. Yeah. So that's obviously just at that time,
nobody cared or anything.
Nobody cared.
It's like, he gave me money. Hey, look, I vote for him. He gave me money.
Correct. You take that money and you go buy an MX-6 Turbo. So at the time,
that was your first car.
That was my first. Yeah, that was the first car I owned, and then it was incredibly illegal because you couldn't have a turbocharged car on your. We go learners, and then we have a probationary license 1, probationary license 2.
That's right. You guys call it P license.
Yeah,
right?
Ps. Yeah, we call it the Ps. So and there's restrictions on what cars you can have and whatever.
Yeah.
But you can have a Lamborghini on your Ps. Go for it. Let's make it
only if you're rich, right?
Only if you're rich. Yeah. Life is only bad if you're not rich.
Yeah.
So those were the sort of cars you could get. But I guess we've spoken about this heaps, where like this day and age, what is a kid going to buy as their first car?
Yeah,
like, what cool thing are you going to buy?
It's so tough now, man. Like I feel bad for these kids growing up in like this day and age, because like they look at it as their older brother or something, older sibling was into cars, and it's like, man, I want a 240, I want a Sylvia or something. Now they look at these prices and it's like $30K.
Yeah.
That's almost, I could buy a brand new car with that that amount and everything.
It is.
But back then to us, man, they were dirt cheap, man. Dirt cheap, man.
Cheap.
I mean, hell, my first car was an FC RX-7. I bought for $150.
That's crazy.
I was a newspaper boy delivering newspapers and stuff.
Runs.
Yeah,
the American dream. This guy.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I was delivering newspapers and everything saved up, and then I remember seeing on Craigslist, right? So it was our Facebook Marketplace back then.
Of course, yeah.
And looked on Craigslist and I saw this FC for like $400. I talked the guy down to like $150, and he was like, he's like, I haven't started in a while, but luckily my dad was in the cars, and he's like, I'll get this thing running. We got it running. I drove it home, and then funny enough, the first day I drove it home, I blew the motor up and everything.
Sounds about right for a rotary run. Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah. But like, so I get it home, and fans weren't working or anything, so I was like, okay, it didn't seem like it overheated or anything, so I was like, this seems fine, I think it didn't have any coolant or anything, but I ran into use the bathroom in my house and everything. Ran in, came back out, and this thing was bellowing smoke, man. I was like, oh shoot, what is going on? Looked at the temp, overheating and everything. Then it started having that hot start problems, and I was like, I can't drive this thing anymore, man. I was like, I'd literally just cook the engine. I was like, fuck, man. And then later on, I kept that car, pulled the motor out, threw the motor away. And then I started working for a fish company called Trident Seafoods, saved up money and everything. And I bought a 13BT, a Series 2 motor, everything, FC motor and everything.
Perfect.
And dropped it in there, and I regret it still to this day. I never got it running. We extended the harness because, of course, left-hand drive, right-hand drive, ECUs in different areas and stuff like that. So my dad taught me how to solder and stuff like that. So I extended the wiring about like let's say like freaking this long or so. It's like
This
it's like yeah, it's like 2 feet long.
Anything but metric.
Yeah, I know.
Anything
I'm trying to convert it. I'm like,
it's about 6 salmons long.
But it's like, okay, so in feet, right? It was like 2 feet. So it was like this
looks
one.
like 2 feet.
Yeah. So like I extended about that long so it can reach the passenger side where the ECU is gonna go and everything. And I was so close to getting that thing running. And then I just thought I just didn't have the motivation anymore. My dad was working a lot and everything, and he was traveling like back and forth. Like he went to Hawaii and stuff like that. He went to Texas, Florida, Japan and stuff for work. And then we just never finished it and everything. And then I pulled out my first loan, and then, well, I guess technically a running first car would be my RX-8. I bought an RX-8. I love the FC and everything. Right. And I was like, man, I love the rotary. And my dad talked about rotaries because he had a car. He had an RX-4 Luce back in the day. Cool. Built this motor, and this thing revved out to like 14,000 RPM. Jeez. And he said that when he was up there in the RPMs, you could see the gas gauge just going down and everything. So he got me into rotaries and everything, and I was like, oh, he's like, you know what? I like the shape of the RX-8 and everything. I was like, let me get an RX-8. So I bought it for like, I think it was like $7,000 at a dealer, pulled out a loan and everything, and I bought it. Man, I love that thing. The handling on that thing was great.
Well, they're basically just an MX-5.
Yeah, pretty much. Just a 4-seater extended MX-5.
Extended MX-5, with like just a different power characteristic. And this was what the other day we were saying when we walked past the NC. At the dealership, and I was like, those things are unbelievable, and no one likes to believe it. Like the ends, like if you're gonna buy any MX-5, aside from the new ones, because most of the time I think if someone's gonna get into MX-5s, they're not gonna buy the newest one straight away.
Yeah.
So MX-5s, Roadsters, Miatas, whatever you call them. I've always thought that third generation, the NC, is the better car because it feels.
It looks great too,
man. They do look good.
The
like
shape looks
the
good,
late
man.
ones, like the series,
especially like a hardtop one. Oh man,
they're a power retractable hardtop.
Those are nice.
Yeah, cool car. So they drive really, really well. They're like so much more reliable. They're like heaps more power. It's a 2-liter. Like heaps more power. And the interiors are much nicer. Deadening is much nicer. Like it just overall is a better feeling car than the NBs and the NAs. But people don't want to hear that.
Yeah, but I still like the flip-up lights and everything.
Of course,
I love the flip-up lights because my FC flip-up light and everything. Oh, dude, it's so cool, man.
It was the Vogue, right? Like it was what they were actually
so
into.
So sad that they got rid of them, man. The whole pop-up. I don't understand that, you know.
I think it was more of a less of a production and design thing, and more of a
it would fail kind of thing.
Yeah, no, not the failure. It was more pedestrian safety. I think it was a bit.
Oh, if someone gets hit and it's not going to scrape them up or something.
You come out of the other side, they've gone through you know what I mean?
They're going to hit the headlight and just start rolling and cut up their body. And everything.
Yeah. I think that's what it mostly is. Because you think of, it wasn't just Mazda that was doing it. It was a lot of companies.
Yeah, it was so many. I mean, 86, the Torenos and everything. Yeah,
86s.
240s,
Ferraris,
180s and stuff.
Very popular.
Yeah.
Very popular style of because it looks cool. It's like a hideaway thing, right? It's pretty cool. So, but that's, going back, it's like, what are these kids going to buy?
Yeah. It sucks. But I mean, hey, at least Toyota, Subaru and stuff like that, they're still coming up with the GR86s, BRZs and stuff like that. Brand new car, at least it's still going to be under warranty and everything, but they just got to cough up $30,000-$40,000 or so, you know?
But, I mean, let's go back into perspective, talking about, what the situation is with buying anything here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money.
And if you ask a lot of these kids, you ask a lot of these kids and everything, they work for 1 to 2 years or so, pull out a massive loan just to get a beat up JZX that they paid 4 million yen for, which is $40,000.
It's crazy.
And it's oh, dude, I feel bad for these kids, man. Yeah. And they're so beat up too. Yeah. And they go for 4 million yen. And it's you bought that thing for 4 million yen? That thing looks like a heap of crap. What the hell? Mismatched panels and everything.
Beer can recorders.
Dude, I remember not too long ago, $30K can get you a painted, nice JZX and everything. Now a mismatched panel JZX is $30K. It's what the hell? I feel bad for these kids, man. And they want to get into these old cars because either their siblings or the dad was into it and everything. But it's I think it's more reasonable just to go with a newer car. GR86 warranted and everything.
Correct.
And stuff.
Yeah, and it's cost prohibitive for them to even enjoy the cars. Like, and then once you buy it, it's like, okay, well now what?
Yeah.
Like, you've got no more money now. Like, all of your money is going to pay for this loan.
Yeah.
And you want to do...
But it's crazy, though. It's like, their loan payments are super, super low. It goes up to, like, I think, like, they could pay, like, $100 a month or something,
That's
$200. But it sucks because then they're going to be paying over the years and everything.
Of course.
And then, or either, I do know, like, a lot of them, they pull out a massive, massive loan, $20,000 more than what the car is. Then they drop a bunch of that money into it and everything. For example, hopefully he never sees this, but the Cresta, the purple Cresta guy that we met at the vending machines.
The
one that did the donuts and everything, right?
Yeah. Completely.
He paid that Cresta, I think, like 3-4 years ago, like 5 million yen, $50,000.
Wow.
But that was $50,000 painted, kitted, and everything, caged and everything, and Power FC tuned and stuff like that, wastegated and stuff like that, and like that's what got him 50 grand. You know, that was that Cresta. It was all done up and everything, and he did it because he wanted all of it done. So he pulled out a bigger loan and everything, threw it all into that.
Yeah, it's like $50,000 is such an incredible number.
It is.
It's such an incredible number to say for something that, and I mean, it might offend some people. I mean, you drive one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I had many experiences with them in Australia. Like, we had 3 of them at one point, right? And we obviously built Simon's one and everything. And it's like, cool cars. Absolutely no question about it. Cool car. When we were driving around last night, with the Daikoku last night, which that was a whole different experience in itself. It's a whole different situation. But say in that scenario, like when we're driving through the tunnel, and then it's like, you know, I was in the Aristo at the time, and then we're coming through, and then it's like as soon as your car came through, like it just lit up the tunnel.
Yeah, you could hear it.
You can hear
that Jay-Z sound.
But it's the Jay-Z sound. So like I get it. Like I do get it. I appreciate them. I love them. And obviously I wouldn't have bought what I bought, which is still nobody on the other side of that knows what it is. But I bought what I bought because of that. Yeah. Because of, you know, there is a presence that exists. And just
that time too, man. Toyota did such a good job building a bulletproof car, man.
Absolutely. And you can beat on these things and they don't break. Yeah. So that's, I mean, having said all of that, you know, it's still like not worth that money.
No.
Like even if you do conversion and whatever and adjust for inflation and everything, the car is now more than what it was when it was new.
Yeah, yeah.
Because $50,000 now is what $30,000 would have felt like when they were released. Because I don't think they would have been much more than $30,000.
I think they were between 20 to like 30K.
Really?
Back then, like
for like a manual Tourer V?
Yeah, brand new.
Wow. Brand you heard it here first, folks. That's very cheap. That's a lot of car for that money, and that's what they should be like. That's kind of, I feel like there should be some sort of universal control of that. Like a car cannot exceed its original value. Like if that was the case, then like, you know.
I mean, hell, dude, that $400 that went for over $1 million.
Yeah, it's too much money, bro.
Dude, that is insane.
Yeah, that's many
that is 10 times the amount that car was back in the day.
Yeah, it's too much.
Like that's more than a Ferrari, more than a Porsche, Lamborghini, and everything. Almost more than a Bugatti Veyron.
Yeah.
It's like it's like $1 million car, man.
And it's in the name, 400R. Like that's from out of the hole. It's not gonna make much more power than
400. Yeah. And oh no, they made like 50 of them.
Yeah. And fundamentally, it's obviously the car has. There's reasons as to why they're what they are and the reason that they cost what they cost and whatever.
The celebration and everything.
Cool. Okay, that's okay. I'm not knocking that. But it's never is it worth that sort of money. Yeah. It's not worth that sort of money at any given point.
You know about the was it the Celica 2000 GT? The one that James Bond drove in like the movies way back in the day?
Yeah.
Those are like Japan's most like iconic car. That's like $2 million.
Yeah.
And they're not allowed to sell it outside of Japan, like because it's become such an iconic car and everything.
Yeah.
It was
2000 GT.
Yeah, it was like just recently that no one outside of Japan is allowed to own that car.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Supposedly, from what I've heard.
How do you enforce that though?
Yeah, well,
there's going to be some oil sheik in the Middle East that's going to overhaul.
But it's like it's crazy. Like that car. So old is like expensive, man. $2 million, like it's insane.
Yeah, and there's some,
that car was probably like what, 10 to 20 grand back in the day.
Well, it would have
when
felt,
it was brand new.
But that would have still felt, back then it would have felt like a lot of money. Right? When you adjust things for inflation, you've got to think about how that car would have felt at that time, right? Because how it felt is different to what the numeric value is, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, going back to like, JZXs, for example, and whatever, it's like now people are looking for sort of alternatives, like real weird sort of left of center type cars. Like, I mean, and weird to other markets other than Japan, because having been here, I've seen heaps of Laurels. I haven't seen a single Saphira in the whole time I've been here.
Yeah, so rare. But you know what's funny? You go up north to Hokkaido and everything, Saphiros everywhere.
Oh, really?
Saphiros everywhere.
Crazy.
I don't know why.
That's crazy.
You rarely see a Saphira here, but I went up north, tons of Saphiros.
Wow.
You see them left and right and everything.
That's crazy.
Which I don't understand why.
Yeah, that's a weird situation.
I don't understand why.
But that's what I mean. Like, even with other like alternatives like Laurels and things like that, like they exist. And now people are like, oh no, it's like, that's why I like it, because it's like, no, it isn't. You just can't buy a Chaser. Yeah. You can't buy a Mark II. You can't buy a Cresta. That's why you've got one.
You can't afford it and everything because it's so expensive.
But that's not to say anything other than the fact that it's not about, it's like, of course you can't afford it. That's the main driving factor. Hence why
so you go with the alternative of Saphira or Laurel or something. Correct. I mean, that's like 10K.
Because I'm not going to be like, oh, I bought Bleep because I couldn't buy a RX-7. Yeah. Like, no, I definitely prefer this particular car over an RX-7. It's like, no, you don't.
But I mean, let's be real. FTs, man, are so goddamn expensive, man.
Ridiculous. That's what I'm saying, though. So of course, you got to find an alternative because they're no longer a sub $10,000 car. Like an FC. So my FC story was that we got married, and when we got married, our honeymoon was we flew up to up the coast of Australia. Took like a rental car, I think is what we ended up doing. We took a rental car, drove out to this random town, and I bought a FC Series 5 Turbo 2 and then drove it home. That was our honeymoon.
Your honeymoon?
Yeah.
Wow.
Clutch master still. The thing immediately did rotary things. So we drove halfway through, because mind you, perspective, Sydney to Melbourne, 11, 12-hour drive. And I was well and truly above Sydney. So it was like a 16-hour drive or whatever. But driving this car home, and it started misfiring within
typical rotary stuff.
Yeah, and then the clutch pedal started going soft and would stick. And then it wasn't clutch slippage. I knew it wasn't clutch slippage. I knew it was like an actuation problem. Yeah. And then it just absolutely cooked itself. We were rolling back through Melbourne and the clutch slave cylinder had failed. So then I had to go off the freeway, roll into a town in fifth gear, pull into someone's house. Before I went and flew up to buy that car, I'd literally gone and seen another car. This particular dude went to see his car. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to buy a car. I'm going to go look at another one. He's like, all right, cool, good luck. Then I had to call this guy and be like, bro, I hate to do this to you, but my slave cylinder's failed. I'm going to pull into your house. So I went back to the guy, the first car I saw.
That you denied the first car?
That I did not buy his car. And he was so good and he helped me. Man, what was his name? His name was, I can't remember. I think it started with an S, and he was an Assyrian dude. And he runs now APE Racing, which is Assyrian Performance Engineering. Whoa. And they do, they do some really, really fast rotary drag cars. He was an absolute weapon. He knew everything about them, and he was such a nice dude. And he was like, yeah, man, no worries, we'll bleed it. And he bled it enough for me to get it home. And then I got the car home that way. And he helped me. And I was always like, oh, it's really nice. I mean, he was born and raised in New Zealand, hence the rotary thing. Because the fast rotaries come out of New Zealand. Yeah. And so then he was like, he'd grown up around them and he just got into them and whatever. And so he, bailed me out of that situation. No hard feelings, no nothing, man. So then when it started having other issues, because it's a rotary, it ended up having ECU issues. Yeah, absolute G. And he, then later when I started having issues, I called him. I'm like, hey, I'd like, can you do the work for me? Because I wanted to give him something in return. Yeah. Takes the car. It had an issue with the Microtech. So it had an aftermarket ECU Microtech. Is it Microtechs?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, so Microtechs are big in Australia and New Zealand for rotaries. They're like the go-to controllers, which I guess probably, and I'm sure when I'm famous enough, someone's going to flame me in the comments, but they're, I guess, equivalent with sort of the processing ability and shooting capability as a Power FC. They were just cheaper. And they were very popular in Australian tuning scene throughout the 80s and 90s. They were very, very popular. And so it started having issues with the controller, and then I took it back to him, and he had a spare controller, and he changed it over. And yeah, car's running mad. And so then he was like, oh, we're just going to tidy up the tune a bit. So he went out, and he's just like, he lived in the middle of nowhere, dude. And he took the car out, and he just gave it a hit, second, third, gave it a hit, whatever. And then as he did a U-turn to come back around, he got pulled over by the police because the car didn't have regos.
No.
So he copped an $800 fine.
Oh.
And so then I had to give him money for the tuning of the car and an $800 fine. And I remember saying, like, I even remember, G saying the same thing. She's like, this car's cursed. Like, because it just had so many issues. Like, so many issues. Like, typical rotary things.
Dude, typical rotary things.
Yeah,
oh
unbelievable,
God,
man.
Dude.
Unbelievable.
Like, such an amazing engine. Sounds great, everything, but
yeah,
dude,
just dramas.
So much problems. Because I had the same problem. I had so many problems with my RX-8, man. I think I bought it at like, I think it was like 140,000 miles or so.
Is that a lot?
It is a lot. It is a lot. Let me do the conversion. Like, it's like 140. So what is that?
I'd say it's like 180,000 Ks or something like that. I don't know. We're not very good at this.
1.6. 224,000 kilometers.
Wow, that's heaps of Ks, dude.
Yeah, and you know what the funny thing is too? It went through already before I bought it. 3 motor changes. I saw it in like the it was like a little report that you get, right, for like the car and everything. And I'm like, 3 motors, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, hopefully I think when I did the math and everything, I think this motor had like maybe like 30,000 miles on it. I was like, okay, I should be good for like a while, you know?
A little bit.
Well,
little did you know. You will know.
I beat the piss out of it and everything.
Yeah, you got to.
And I think like 15,000 miles later, I started having those hot start problems.
Oh, God.
Dude, which is like till this day, like I never understood how do you fix that hot start problem and everything with rotaries and stuff. Like literally you come to like a stop, turn it off and everything, try to turn it on, will not start again. You got to wait like an hour or two for it to cool down and then just to start up again. I
think PJ, because I don't know if you know, but PJ did his apprenticeship at a place called, I think he did it at, I'm sure he'll correct me, Rank Rotary. I think he did it. So Rank Rotary was like a really well-known rotary shop in Australia, in Melbourne. And he did his apprenticeship there. And so he did his apprenticeship through rotary cars. And obviously throughout an apprenticeship you do other cars. It just so happens to be that he did it through Rank. And then he was saying that back in the days they used to just like pour 2050 down a spark plug hole. And then bang, they'd crank every time.
Huh.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds easy to pour oil in the spark plug hole when you
got
to pull the wheel off just to get to the spark plugs that's on the side of the motor.
Correct. Yeah.
Hang on. Let me try pouring oil into the freaking thing.
You would have to inject it. You know what I mean? There'd have to be some sort of efficient way of doing it. But yeah, he reckons that was mostly the fix. But it's like I think, which might be controversial to, like I said, when I'm famous, someone's going to surely comment. But I think that trade-off of the amount of dramas you have versus the amount of car you get to drive, I think that's really hard for people to overcome. And both of us personally have gone through it. Like it's just like
it is
so good, but so many problems. So expensive now. So this is the issue. I guess it's going to be like the subject of the podcast, how expensive everything is. I don't mean it to be, but
but it is.
It's the reality. Though, so now it's like you buy an FD, like an FD here. You remember what I was saying to you? I was like, man, if I sell my house at a certain amount, I'm going to buy an FD. And I was talking about FDs flat out. Like, just buy one. Like, why wouldn't I live out my dream and get moved to Japan and buy an RX-7? Like, why wouldn't I do that? And then you look at these prices and you're like, nah. Not 70 grand.
The pricing and plus the amount of problems you're going to have, the amount of stress you're going to have, and then it's going to be a money pit, man. You're going to be spending so much just to fix it and everything. You're going to be miserable.
And then you can't really, you could put your kids in the back, while they're little, you can still do it. But it's one of those cars which, again, I think that the controversial or not, it's just the reality. If you leave an RX-7 alone, it'll run forever. Leave it alone. Don't touch it. Don't even change, change a radiator maybe for cooling. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. You got to take out the oil metering thing, blah, blah, blah. If you want, leave it. Just leave it. And service it when you got to service it. Otherwise, leave it. And what you're getting is good. It's just not unbelievably good. Then you have GC8 RX-7s. RX-7s. GC8 WRXs. And it's like, as soon as you start putting booster on, they're going to lift heads and this, that, and that. Okay, then don't do that.
Yeah.
Buy a GC8 and drive them.
Yeah.
You know,
simple as that. Don't do anything to it.
Don't do anything to it. Like, same thing. Evo's going to, shed my gearbox or this, that, and that. Cool. Then don't do anything to it.
Yeah.
Just drive the car. So I think that naturally, as a lot of, because there's only going to be automotive enthusiasts that are going to watch this. And it's like, oh, you can't leave anything stock. And I get that. You can't. You
really can't. You
can't leave anything stock. And I get that too. But then it's like, pick your battles then.
Yeah.
Because you can't have reliability, power, and a cheap, affordable RX-7. There's no such thing.
You know, actually the funny thing too is like my dad said the same thing to me and everything. And so when my motor blew on my RX-8, I looked around and there was a guy in Oregon famous for his rotaries and everything. He's been doing it for 40 years. And I picked up a motor from him and I was like $3,000. And it was, I had him powder coat it and everything. And it was black and gold. That was my thing. It was like black and gold, red and gold and everything. I love the whole, like Subaru's like the blue and gold and everything.
Yeah, cool.
The red and gold was so good. And I was like, can you paint my engine black and gold? And he did. And I was like, oh, this was so cool, man. And he did, what was it? Not tier ported, not peripheral ported. Street port. Yeah. He street ported it. And I revved this thing out to 10K, dude. Dude, so much RPM.
The factory gauge goes up to 10K.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And it's so much RPM. I'm like, okay, it's still going. Like, oh, like,
just making noise at that point.
I didn't do anything to the motor. I had him street ported and everything. Didn't do anything to the motor. I did suspension, I did exhaust and stuff like that, and wheels and brake pads. And dude, it was such a good car.
I think that's the thing. I think that a lot of it's almost like I wish that I love what Archie does because he brings back shout out Archie. He brings back, he is educating younger generations on what that golden era of drifting is. Yeah. I wish there was
Shout
a
out
thing,
to that guy.
or maybe it could even be, who knows, maybe it could be me. But I wish there would be a way where we, instead of it being a gatekeeperish thing, I wish younger people or people that are just getting into this space could actually really understand how good these cars were when they were new. Yeah. Right? How unbelievably good they were. And I think maybe the exception to the rule of like, leave your cars alone, maybe put an exhaust on it, maybe a high intake tank. High flow intake. So you get a bit more engine noise and you can hear your car. Leave it alone otherwise. If you want to do something, put suspension or brakes in it.
And another thing too is like what gets me is like people are just like, it's like, oh, it's a simple build, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, massive turbo, this and that, cams and stuff. That's not a simple build, man. Yeah. Like, dude, the reason also too is I want the reliability of my car and everything is I did nothing to the engine. Headers, Tomei manifold, high flow turbo or steel wheel turbo and everything, exhaust, all suspension stuff done. Engine stock. Yeah. And reliable, and she's still going on strong. Knock on wood. 300 and
multiple types.
Yeah, 300, almost 370,000 kilometers, man.
Yeah, you heard it here first. 370,000 Ks, which is part of one of your many fascinating things. Is that you have. I mean, there's a lot about you that I'm sure we'll get into when we get over the fact that everything's so expensive. But like, there's so many things about your situation, and one of those is how many Ks are on that car. I don't think anybody really knows that. Right?
Yeah,
like, it's not something that you.
And I think also too, it's a crazy thing to hear from people. It's like, you have that many Ks on your JZX?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. It just goes to show they can do them if you leave them alone. And I think that people would get more enjoyment out of making things like tire changes, suspension changes, and things like that. Look, I think back in the day there was maybe some number fixing. Maybe they used to bring the little cones a little bit closer than they said they would back with Best Motoring and mostly Best Motoring. Because with Best Motoring, for those that maybe haven't seen it or a little bit more context, they would always, anytime something new would come out, anytime something new would come out, they'd be like, let's get everything back and test them back to back again. And one of the crazy things is that I find so incredible is that SW20 MR2s, the turbo SW20 MR2s, absolutely annihilated everything for like 3 years in 0 to 400. It smashed everything. They were so unbelievably quick. Yeah. And like, nobody talks about an SW20 MR2. Oh, snap oversteer, this and that. Yeah, cool, whatever. Like, That car
Yeah, they weren't meant to drift.
No, that's right. You're not meant to be drifting an MR2 anyway. The engine's in the back. What are you thinking? So, but the cars themselves were unbelievable.
Yeah,
and they handled well.
They
handled well, and they made good power, and they were very, very fast. And
I actually got a funny ass story about the SW20s. Why I hate them so much and everything. They're good looking cars.
They're a
Don't get me wrong.
Car. I think they were very fast for what they were too.
Yeah,
they were very fast.
Yeah, but we got the model that wasn't turbo. We got the NA version of them in the States.
Oh, in the States. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm pretty sure they had turbo.
Yeah. So, funny enough, why I hate them so much is because my best bud Gar had a SW20, and he just told me nothing but horror stories of this thing. But it doesn't help too that he bought a car that was kind of cursed and everything. Bought a car from a dude that was that passed away and everything. I think he passed away in the car or something.
Oh God.
And he was a good friend, and I think he bought it and everything. And dude, he blew that engine probably like 3-4 times. Wow. Blown through 6 turbos and everything. That thing was cursed. And one of the times he bought a wing in Hokkaido, and he came over to my area. We wrapped it, and then he bought me a ticket to fly to Vegas. Bring this wing, this massive 1,800 millimeter wing. I'm carrying it on the plane and everything.
Oh
they God. Put it in. He's like, hey, you want to help me pull the motor out and everything? Dude, this thing was such a pain to work on and everything, dude.
You're better off going underneath than you are.
Yeah, that's what we had to do. We had to jack up the car freaking like a meter high, pull the motor out and everything. It was such a pain. And he was like, this was the last straw for him. So then he pulled the motor out, sold the motor, sold the turbo separate and everything. And then he junked the body because he didn't want anyone having the body because that body was like cursed and everything. The tow truck guy came, picked up the car, and then they crushed it, dude. Crushed it. He didn't want anything to do with that car, and it was still on the white TEs. OG white TEs, and he crushed it with the TEs because he was like, it came with the car. He was like, leave everything with the car and everything. Yeah. He's like, just crush it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, it, of course, they're as a car themselves. That's more of a personal, unreliable story as opposed to like a situation where you look at the car.
It's just shit luck,
Yeah, bad luck, definitely bad luck. But I think like when you think of, as the car performed when it was new, it was like untouchable. Like it was smashing everything. Like I'm pretty sure it exists, and obviously people are like, there's no way. But I'm pretty sure I remember seeing like an SW20. Obviously, this was like the Bathurst Star or whatever the quickest one was. And it like pumped NA NSX, NA whatever their series is, but NSX, like an S0. It pumped an S0, and it was like, are we not paying attention? Like, this is an incredibly fast car. And then when you had the likes of the rivalry between Evos and WRXs, like throughout the 90s, and they just bettered themselves every single time, and that's what made them so good. Is that the manufacturers would look at publications like this and go, all right, we're being outed by
it's a competition. Literally,
it's a competition.
It's like, hey, who got the bigger dick and everything? And then it's like, oh, let's come up with the Evo. Oh, let's come up with the STI version that's better than the Evo, and then just kept going and going. And then what? After I think the Skylines, like the early 2000s, I think that's when it just all stopped and everything.
Correct. Well,
Skylines became discontinued. They stopped making them and stuff like that. 34s and shit. Supras were gone for the longest time until this BMW made Supras.
We had a conversation about that. But those things is like where and that's what I was saying yesterday when we got into a very heated conversation about Supras. Is that at least we've got them. Yeah. I think that's also a very important thing to remember. 400Z Supra, GR Yaris, GR Corolla, and the what else do we have now?
GR86s,
BRZs. We've got them. Be grateful that at least we've got them. And they're going to
Honda Civic Type Rs.
Type Rs,
Dude, and now they're turboed. They're like 400 horsepower.
Yeah. So like at least we've got something.
Yeah.
We've got something to be grateful about. Yeah. But it look like we're maybe old heads now, but it'll never be the same as the 90s. And I think that's what I'm kind of getting at is that with these comparisons and with everything relative to how they competed against each other and how they would always one-up themselves, ended up being a better product for the consumer.
Yeah, it was.
So by the time
it caught people's attention too.
100%.
All the races that they did, who was faster, 0 to 60, who did a quarter mile quicker and everything, and then who can do scuba around the track normal, and it was in a normal car.
Yeah, normal car, and there was like a full-blown 5 race car drivers racing this car. So you knew it wasn't like
5 of the best racers and everything.
Literally, the best in the world, or best in Japan for the very least. And then to say that, you know, they would drive them to within an inch of their lives. Like, it was still a race to them. They weren't biased to like, oh, I like Evo, so I'm going to try a bit harder. No.
But if you did notice, though, every time when they did the best motoring and everything, Keiichi was always in the best car out of all of them and everything.
Of course.
And it's like, oh, this car is better than all of them. Only because you're in the best car and you're driving it.
Correct. Look, obviously,
it's unfair, man.
Yeah, he
was unfair.
I have an in-joke with my brother-in-law about the bias, because then when you watch like Hot Version and some of the later stuff, or even Best Motoring, when they started like comparing European cars, when it got to the point, which I know it's going to make a lot of people sad, because we're in Japan right now and we love Japanese cars and whatever, but it got to the point where everybody else caught up.
Yeah.
And they just Europe started producing better cars.
Yeah.
Sorry to say, but they did.
Yeah.
And so then you would have like all of these, you know, they would then try and compare the AMG GTR, which is like a totally different animal. Like
the Evo, was it Benz and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. Like you can't expect the 35 GTR to beat these things. And then, you know, they were always so close. It's like, there's no way that those cars are that close. Like that, it's like, I get it and I understand and I appreciate the bias, but you can't be that biased. Like, that's just a better car.
It is.
And it's more expensive. Focus on that instead.
The M3, was it the M3 comps, the wagons and everything?
Yeah.
Dude, from the factory, 500 horsepower.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
And it's like Nissan, Toyota's not doing anything of that anymore.
No. So,
but I also think too, at the same time, they're just like, they don't care anymore, you know? It was cool back in the day, early 2000s. They wanted the better car. Skyline's better than Supra. This is better than this and everything, you know? But then now they just kind of, I think, just kind of grew up and it's like, you know what? Let's make efficient cars and everything, you know.
Everybody
and then we'll throw a little bit of something for the people and everything, you know. Hey, there's a GR86, you know, GT86 or a Scion, whatever it was. Back
FRS?
Yeah. FRS, Scion FRS. And then
you're the American.
Yeah, I know. Well, because I wasn't really into that car.
Yeah. I think they're a good platform for what
they are. They are, man. The body. I'm really starting to fall in love with the GR86 lines and everything, man.
Yeah,
it's a good looking car, man.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, and the refreshing thing is that driving around here,
you see a lot of them.
Yeah, heaps of everywhere.
Heaps of GT86s, GR86s, and everything.
So funny. My wife saw one on the expressway. We were driving down, and she's like, "What's that thing?" Because it was like a black, like current model black GR, and we're driving down. It was like in the far lane, and we're looking at it. And she's like, "Man, that looks really good." It was like slightly lowered on some cool wheels, and I'm like, "Yeah, it looks good." Like I'm like, "That's a 8.6," and tried to explain the concept to her. And she's like, "That's really nice." She's like, "Why can't I have one of those?" And I'm like, I mean, you could have an early one. Like an early one wouldn't be that much. I don't know how much. What are they worth?
No, dude, they're so expensive.
Really?
They're so expensive.
Like a ZN6, like the early ones?
Yes, man. They're over 10K.
Really?
Yeah. Good luck. You will, once in a blue moon, will find something that is under 10K.
Okay, right. I mean, it's still 10 grand. It's a lot of car for 10 grand. A lot of fun. Not a lot of car, a lot of fun for 10 grand. And so I explained it with her, and she's like, "Oh, it's really nice." And then she got really G'd up about it for a little bit. And then I don't know where we were.
But I will say, the brand new GR86s for their price is not bad.
And they're very nice.
Because my buddy Alec, he bought a brand new GR86 0 kilometers.
Wow.
For 3.4 million, the RS version, right? Nice. So the what was it, RC version? It was like race.
Yeah, whatever.
Something
like
or whatever.
Bare
bone. Yeah. It had donut wheels, it had donut steelies and everything. No radio, 2 speakers in the front. That's it.
Oh wow.
And he bought it for, I think it was like 3.4 million yen, which was like 34K AUD, right?
Yep.
And I think at the time, I think it's like $2,600 or $26,000 or something. That's not a bad price for a brand new car.
0Ks, man.
0K, man.
That's your car.
And your car, you could do whatever to it. And then he did. He bought brand new CE28s for it, brand new suspension and everything. And then now he's thinking about either doing like a high compression, like what was it? A high response motor. High response motor, or going with a Greddy turbo kit.
Oh man.
So he's like, I don't know, man.
They left that big space right at the front. Like, I mean, if you wanted to, you could put it like unnecessarily big airbox. Yeah. And it's like, if you want to, you could.
Yeah.
You could. Yeah. And they kind of openly invited people like, hey, don't you think that?
And Greddy did it, man. Greddy did it.
Immediately.
Did you? Oh no, you never met my friend Sachiko. She was one of the first GR86s to get Truss turbo kit onto her car and everything. Dude, 0.7 bars stock boost for JZX, right? Correct, stock boost 0.7 bars, right? It made 380 horsepower.
Wow, that's heaps.
$380 on a
That's heaps.
stock boost, man.
That's crazy.
And
what
then
are they? It's 2 liter. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
2.4 liter.
Oh,
It's because it's GR86, right?
Okay.
So it's
yeah.
the newer version and everything.
Okay, that makes
Yeah, and then it's on like Greddy like e-management and everything.
E-manage, yeah.
And yeah, 380 horsepower.
That's crazy,
man.
bro.
With
That's so
heaps
much
of
power
torque.
for a small car, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's a boxer, of course. It's gonna make
yeah,
sense.
and I was like, holy cow, man. And then dude, she was spinning the tires, man. And let me tell you, she drifts automatics. She's good at drifting automatic, dude.
Oh wow, 2-pedal drifting.
And yeah, and like she punches it, and we're just spinning. It's like whoa, 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 whoa. Like with the blow up valve and everything. I was like, no way. I was like, this thing is faster than my car.
They don't weigh anything. They don't weigh anything. They don't weigh anything.
They weigh like nothing too, man.
Yeah. And you think about, what about that thing we saw last night coming into Daikoku? And that had, I'm still sure of it. I'm actually set because I know it's a
the GT86.
Yeah, and it had I think it had a
sure.
H6 in it. The flat 6. What is it in? It's in a Legacy. The 3-liter 6-cylinder box.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think so?
That was one of the first early real common swaps. And it immediately increases power. And I think it's not that much more weight over the front axle. And at the end of the day, the amount of power you get back versus the weight over the axle is like, who cares?
You know, if I wasn't into my JZX, or if I didn't buy a JZX, I would love to get a GR86. As much as I hate SRs, sorry you guys that love SRs and everything.
Man. God's motor.
Yeah, God's motor and everything doesn't have any problems. But I will say, I do love the sound of them and everything. And I would love to take a stock motor and throw it in a GR86. Screw a boxer motor, man. I hate the sound of boxer motors and everything.
I think you can only get them to sound good with the right header combination.
Yeah. I was it equal length headers or unequal length headers?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah,
someone's gonna correct.
Someone can, please. Yeah. But I would love to throw a fucking 4-cylinder in there, man.
Yeah.
A SR or something, you know?
Yeah.
It's just bone stock with a little bit of boost up and everything, and I think that would be freaking heaps of fun.
And everybody was doing JZ swaps on them when they first came out.
And I think it makes it too front heavy because of the iron block and everything.
Too much engine.
Yeah.
It's too much engine. Like an SR makes sense because it's...
Make it like a midship and everything. Pull the engine back and everything.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with those.
Gearbox is the same too for S chassis and everything.
Oh, is it really?
I believe so. I believe they still use the Ison,
yeah,
J160 gearboxes.
Yeah, we got a story about
that. Still freaking use them till this day. I mean, what Altezas have them, Silvias have them, RX-8s have them,
NC MX-5s have them.
NC MX-5s have them and everything. Such a versatile
engine.
Like transmission.
Versatile box, sorry.
Yeah, transmission.
And it was for low torque output cars.
Yeah. That's why. But glass gears, man. Yeah. Glass box, dude. That thing would grenade.
But that's the thing too, like when you think of a S15 6-speed, and it's like, leave that alone then.
Yeah.
Just leave it, like I would imagine, like, and I had a few friends that had and some still do have, like a spec car, S15, like obviously a JDM car. And like, if you just leave them alone, like they make enough power. Fair enough, put an exhaust on it.
Yeah.
Put an exhaust on it. Maybe take the little the boost restrictor out of because they've got like a little yellow mark.
Yeah.
You can just go like that on the thing, and you pull the ball bearing out, and you increase boost. I don't know why they do that, but Nissan mark it. It's a little yellow mark on the vacuum line, and right there, if you squeeze it, there's a restrictor there. You can just sort of like siphon it out. Comes out, and then you gain boost for free.
Oh, yeah. So what is their stock boost, like 0.7 or something?
Yeah, 0.7 or something.
And then it'll bring it up to like what, 0.9?
Yeah, like 12.
That's still heat.
Heaps.
That's still heat. 0.2 bars and everything. Yeah. That's like what, like another 20 horsepower, 30 horsepower.
Easy. And if it's in there, then the ECU is expecting you to take it.
Yeah.
Out. So it'll have a program for that lean condition. So do an exhaust and put an intake on it if you really have to, and then take that boost restrictor out. Then just leave the car alone.
Yeah, it's
not going to blow up. It's not going to you're not going to destroy a second gear. Nothing. Like, just enjoy the car for what it is. Like, you don't have to go so hard. And
it's funny too, man, because like I've heard and I've dealt with nothing but problems with SRs and everything. All my friends that had SRs always had problems, always helping them out and everything, man. And it's just like, God, dude. But it's like Jay-Z's.
Yeah.
No problem.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Hard to break them. Like, and you really got to be hammering them all of them are going to be smoky. So if you've got a
Yeah.
smoky Jay-Z, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. It's just your valve seals. You know?
It's just about some seals. It's what it is.
Keep going. It won't damage the motor. It'll keep going. You're just leaking a little bit of oil and everything.
I think it's like
burning.
pre-lubrication.
Yeah. There you go. There's pre-lubrication for the pistons
for the
and everything.
piston heads. Yeah. It's like whatever. Whatever. Just
like how rotaries do the they put the oil in the gas.
Tank.
Yeah, to lubricate.
The gas tank.
Yeah, the
petrol tank.
The fuel tank.
Fuel tank. Non-binary.
Fuel tank. Yeah. It's just our thing of lubricating the pistons. It's just let the valve seals go.
Hey, what if? Hey, I'm onto something. What if that's what makes them last that long?
Yeah.
What if that's the actual answer?
I bet you that is.
It's got to have something to do with it.
Yeah.
Because every single Jay-Z over 80,000 Ks is smoky. They're all smoky.
It's funny because every Jay-Z that's over 100,000 kilometers,
definitely smoky.
Valve seals are gone.
100%.
Valve seals are gone, and I'm pretty sure too. That's probably why they last so long is because they're just lubricating the pistons and the piston walls and everything. Which is a good thing.
Maybe it is. Maybe we could be onto something. You heard it here first. It could be that. It could genuinely be that because they are unbreakable.
I mean, dude, you rode with Ogan. He beats the living piss out of that Mark II. Yeah. Limiter and all and everything. Yeah. And you rode with him, man, and how crazy of a driver he is, dude. Yeah, he's definitely. And that motor is still going strong, dude.
Yeah, I don't know how. That was doing turbos.
Yeah,
it's not doing motors.
Yeah, that thing probably has some hard 200,000 kilometer freaking beatings on that thing, man. Because I mean, the amount of track days, the amount of tow gays he's done, the amount of street he's done, and everything, man. Those are some hard mileage on that thing.
100%. And that's why, like, when you go to these events. Even here, because, and I'm sure we'll touch on it a little bit more, but like you go to the events here and some of the big key differences between what I've realized although short time, I've been to a lot of events in the time that I've been here.
Yeah.
And the thing
crazy.
is that
less than 3 months and you've been to so many events.
Pretty much all of them. Yeah. And so like you go to those sort of events, they all feel so grassroots, right? Yeah. And then you've got these people that drive, it's okay, there is some hardcore cars. And then there's some not so hardcore cars, like real basic cars or light tuned cars, which is by definition a light tuned car.
Yeah.
And they just go out there and they're just hanging on these things all day. Third gear, fourth gear, just baking things all day long.
Yeah.
And then they just drive them home. That's the thing that blows my mind. Like,
I know.
How'd you get here? I'm going to drive home. Like,
when I came from the States and everything, because I'm so used to everyone trailering everything,
100%, because it makes sense.
And then when I came out here, I'm like, you're driving home after that hard session?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
But that's also another reason why, too, is what scares me when I go to like events. I feel okay going to Fuji because within our insurance, we can do a 50-kilometer tow for free, which is literally the distance between Fuji and my place and everything is 49 kilometers.
Right. Oh, perfect.
I'm afraid to go to Mobita and something happens and I'm stuck there and it's going to cost me heaps of money to tow my car back. That's what scares me with like these events going so far and everything. And that's why I only go to Fuji.
Yeah.
It's because it's within my range of towing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, but there's so many guys that have made it a thing to tow people around anyway. So I'm sure you can always find a truck. And that's the thing too. Like maybe that whole thing does also add to engine longevity. Is it like they beat up on them and then they don't just turn them off and then put them on the back of a truck and drive them home? They beat up on them all day long and then the rest of the drive is at a single rev. Like, so they're absolutely hammering this thing all day long and then it spends an hour to 2 hours on the highway just buzzing along. Yeah. Getting everything going, maybe evening out the wear or something. Like, we don't know. We're not like scientists or anything. Like, we've got no way to prove it. But it's like, the longevity that these guys are getting out of their cars here compared to Australia.
Yeah, in the States too, man. It blows my mind.
It's like, man, they just got these cars forever. Like, they just keep hammering them forever.
I also think it's because probably the gas and like and they just keep it normal.
Service intervals.
And simple build and everything. They do absolutely nothing to them, man. They just literally keep it stocked. They go to an event, they drive home. Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like, what would
I see more problems with people that throw like a TD06 big cams and everything, and then they blow their motor up and stuff. Correct. Then they got to tow it home, compared to some kid that has a stock Jay-Z beating the piss out of it and drives home. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think like I said, it probably adds a little bit of longevity to like the engine wear and everything, because you are beating up on it for sure, 100%. That's what they're made for. But then you're also giving the chance for the engine to go back into normal heat cycles.
And then also valve seals leaking oil in there.
And that's right. Pre-lubrication.
Pre-lubrication.
The JZX pre-lubrication mode. Yeah. And it's like, maybe it just coincides perfectly, hey? Because, it's funny, because there could be some correlation there. Like, dude, I'm sure 1,000 engine builders are like, there's no way. But
I really think so, too. I really think so, because it keeps it lubricated and everything,
They are a significantly...
I mean, why do rotaries fucking put oil in their gas and everything?
Correct. Yeah, they're
lubricate the seals and stuff like that, two-stroke.
I think that the one JZs particularly, and I'll go out and say that they're more reliable than two JZs because the two JZ package is complicated.
Yeah.
A one JZ, I think, got that engine technology, hardware combination perfectly.
Yamaha did such a good job.
That's right. They did an amazing job with the head.
Yamaha did such a good job.
Turbos matched correctly. Obviously the way that the head flows, obviously because with the cooperation of Yamaha and everything, and like using a different sort of thing, like an acoustics company to help with that. And Yamaha do everything. My cupboards are Yamaha. My cupboard doors in the kitchen are Yamaha.
And funny enough too,
pianos, motorbikes, engines. Like
cupboards. And they actually made a motor for Ford one time. Ford Taurus SHO.
The super high outputs.
Yeah. Dude, Yamaha built that engine, and it was such a good engine. Yeah, dude. My dad was so obsessed with that motor and everything. He wanted to drop that motor into our Ford Taurus.
Oh, man. That would be mad. Ford Taurus. What an ugly car, bro.
It is. It is, dude. Car. The back end looks like a FD.
Yeah.
The 2000s version looks like an FD.
They just took everything they could. They just made everything round. It was such a filthy car, man. But look, I think going back to the reliability thing, they just nailed it. They just nailed it.
Yeah.
They put the right gearbox behind it, and then that's it. It's like, but what about this or what about that? It's like, they're a tiny bit smoky after 100,000 Ks. Turbos, all right, early JZs with the ceramic wheels, fair enough. But if you're not boosting up, not a problem.
Yeah.
If not, put a steel core in it. Call it a day.
Keeping it stock and everything, I think the turbos last a long time, man. You boost it up a little, that's when you start having problems and everything.
So considering that it's such an outstandingly good motor, we could be right about it. Maybe that sort of inadvertent sort of oil leakage maybe does aid in longevity. Who knows? But I guess we'll find out in the long run.
Pre-lubrication.
It's a trademark. One JZ pre-lube. It's mad. It's mad. It's good. Like they're a strong engine. They sound
good. Good thinking on that, man. With the valve seals and everything.
It could be.
Right.
Like because what makes it? And I'm sure that, and I think Haltech used to do a segment on what makes this engine so good. And they did do one, I think, on the 2Js. I don't think they did one on the 1Js. Because they do like what makes an LS so good, what makes an RB so good, what makes it...
I think they did do a 1J, but I think they did a non-VVTi 1J.
There you go. So again, another thing, VVTi, and then they got rid of the twin turbo, so reduced complexity in the hot side, and then they put VVTi in it, and then that kind of, compensated for not having the twin turbo. Like, they just nailed it. They absolutely nailed it.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then the Fortuner versions were 300 horsepower, and it's like, where'd you get that 20 horsepower from?
Yeah.
How is it that easy to pull 20 horsepower? Like all the intercooler, the intake, all the piping is exactly the same.
I think it was like Yamaha did like a ROM tune on them.
Yeah.
To get that
100%.
Extra. Because
but the hardware is good enough for that.
Because the Crown VX came 320 horsepower from the factory. Yamaha tuned that engine and that ECU and everything. And that was like a pinnacle of like the early 2000s too, was the Crown VX. Dude, it broke the gentleman's agreement.
Yeah, 100%. They were like, all right, we've had enough of this.
Yeah.
And fair enough. Like it's it went on long enough, and they were all over 300 horsepower anyway. A lot of Skylines would do dyno days and whatever, and they'd be like 400.
But I will say though, like the big problem though is with before, buying a cheap JZX, you get an automatic one, right, and everything. But when you manual swap them, the VVTi just stops working, man, which sucks. It's like you got all wiener but no balls, and it's like you don't feel that torque or anything. And it's like, dude, my VVTi is not working. For the longest time, I've been battling that, man. It's like, why does it like I feel the top end, but I don't feel the punch of a torque and everything, you know?
Mid-range,
I'm like, dude, what is going on? And then was it Julius Hide was like, you probably don't have VVTi. Unplugs my VVTi solenoid, my car's still running. I'm like, is that supposed to happen? He's like, no. He's like, because a true manual JZX, you pull that VVTi solenoid, you unplug it, your car dies. And I was like, no shit. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, well, how do you fix it? And then there's a couple ways. Like you have to get like a manual harness, manual gearbox. You have to change the cluster to a manual because it's supposed to send pulse signals to the cluster. The cluster tells the ECU, hey, kick the VVTi on at like 3,000 RPMs to 7,000 or 8,000 or something, you know? So you need like a manual gearbox, manual harness, manual cluster, manual ECU in order for your VVTi to work.
Yeah.
And then I think there was another thing where Toto-san says that he could wire up the VVTi solenoid to the ECU to get it to work and everything. And then, of course, get a different ECU. And then program the VVTi to work at certain RPMs and everything.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And that's the thing, too. It's like, that's a lot of, it's heaps of it. That's why like there is value in a true manual car.
Yeah, there is, man.
There's definitely value in a true manual car. And it's like, but the trade-off is that if you buy a true manual car, then whatever case that car has is what that box has.
Yeah,
if it's a swapped car, it's like,
you got a new box and everything, you know?
Yeah, because they're still so affordable.
But it's such a big difference, man, because when I drove Jolene's car, because hers is true manual, dude, it got some punch to that thing. And then I drive mine, I'm like, I'm like, what's happening? Where's that punch?
Maybe it has something to do with the fact that it's a 370,000 case.
Maybe that too. She's a bit tired. She's a bit tired.
Like the bores are like oval shaped. The pistons are just kind of doing that in there. It's kind of somewhere. The prelude's going past the piston at this point.
Just going past the piston.
You don't even have blow by. It just goes back into your sump. Like it's
man.
Positive oiling. Yeah. So I guess the other thing too is like, and it might be another episode's worth of conversation, but one of the things that I wanted to obviously get to at some point in the podcast is what was how did the you've obviously told me this story loosely, but what was the transition of you came here and you were in a far worse position than me, like in the change to move to Japan.
Yeah.
And you did this now. You've been here for how long? You've been
almost 11 years.
11 years, yeah. So more than a decade. And in that you came here as just, we'll see how it works out.
Yeah.
And then you figured out the rest. You literally had figured out the rest. I don't think that would be in its own such a rare thing in other spaces, but I also have now felt that in my journey in the last couple of months of being here and obviously visiting is one thing. I can say that for sure. And I don't want to sound gatekeeperish or anything, but it's like you can visit here 4 times a year.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want, man. Like you can tell me how often you come here and you this, that. Until you're like trying to connect water, gas and power to your own house.
Yeah.
And like, even today, I just got my title after 2.5 months. Like, until you navigate Japan for what it is.
Yeah.
You can visit it as much as you want.
But the people visiting, they're just coming to visit. They're not doing
the highlights.
They're not actually like going through paying bills or trying to figure stuff out and everything. They're just here on vacation, enjoying Japan.
Correct. And look, I would have been one of those people on the other side of the fence too, being like, I go to Japan all the time. It's like, yeah, but you don't. Yeah. You don't really understand what life is like.
Dude, it was tough. It was really, really tough, man. First 6 months, man, I couldn't speak a lick of Japanese, man. But luckily, I have Japanese blood and everything. So I understood the pronunciation and everything of Japanese and stuff. So we're going to go back. 2014, beginning of 2014, I broke up with my ex. Supposed to get married with her and everything. Was in a bad situation and everything. My dad saw it and he was like, you know what? He's like, I'm moving to Japan. And he's like, why don't you come with me and everything? Start a new life and everything. And funny enough, me and my stepbrother, we actually got these tattoos and everything. The Avicii. Yeah, so me, my buddy Steve, Anthony, and Shoto, we got these tattoos, the Avicii tattoo. And there's a deeper meaning to it. It's like you go to Buddhist hell. you repay your debts and karma and everything, and become reborn as a new person. I got it a month before I came to Japan because I'm starting a new life and everything. So I move out to Japan, stay with my stepmom for like 6 months until my dad got here and everything. Started picking up Japanese. My first week was crazy, man. First week, my stepmom took me all over the place. Tokyo, went to Skytree, went to temples and everything. I pulled one of those, the fortune telling things and stuff, right? And I got the luckiest charm ever, which was a golden turtle. Wow. And it's like, this year is your year, 2015. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I was like, maybe it is. I don't know. Yeah. I didn't believe it until like when I read it and everything. I was like, it's not true or anything. You know?
Of course.
And it's like, it's going to be the best year of your life. And I was like, dude, 2015 was the best year of my freaking life, man. I met my first 3 Japanese friends, Yuya, Yusuke, and Madoka. And dude, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have gotten my car, honestly. I don't really count it, but my first car was a Wagoneer 2001 MCS 22 was the chassis code. It was a Wagoneer turbo. This thing was pushing 1 bar of boost. Dude, this thing was so quick that we went through 2 or 3 transmissions because it was going so fast that it couldn't shift. So it was hard shifting and we blew the transmission multiple times. And that thing was so much fun. It had 2 15-inch subs in the back.
Let's go.
This girl. So I bought it from Madoka for $500, right? This thing had 2 15-inch subs in the back, a whole system, big amp and everything. Some weird like, what is it? It was like some voltage meter thing, right? And she had like 4 speakers in there and everything. Dude, this thing was bumping music. Dude, it was crazy. It was so much poor little fun. Battery. Yeah.
And that alternator trying to keep up.
Dude, it was so much fun, man. And then it was like a month later, my friend Yuya, he calls me. He's like, hey, I know you were into JZXs and stuff like that because your dad had one. And then, your buddy JJ had one and everything. He's like, my friend, he's getting rid of his Cresta. He has to get rid of it within like the next month. He's like, do you want to buy it? I was like, how much? And he was like, I think it was like 350,000 yen. I think at the time it was 2,800 USD at the conversion. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. He's like, it's a Cresta. I was like, oh yes, let's go. Because I watched GTO, great teacher Onizuka. I was such a huge fan of the Cresta, man. I don't know if you've seen the videos.
No, I haven't. Dude, like the worst.
So the vice principal had a Cresta in this thing, and this thing got wrecked 4 times from the teacher because the teacher would land on it, he would crush it and everything. I just loved the shape of the Cresta and everything. Made me love it, and I was like, fuck yeah! I was like, I'll buy it, dude. I was like, I will buy this Cresta and everything. So we bought the Cresta, and dude, best purchase of my life, man. It had 115,000 kilometers.
Oh man, I think it was.
And then and then funny enough, I think it was later down the road. I found a video of it from like 5 years ago when I bought the Cresta. Some dealer in Saitama area had it and everything. I was like, that's my Cresta. I was like, I know that's my Cresta. Same kit, same steering wheel, same drift button, same shift knob and everything. I was like, no way.
So you bought it manual?
Yeah, it came manual swapped and everything. Came manual swapped and everything. So I was like, hell yeah, dude. So I got my foot into the JZX and everything, man.
And the rest
I was like,
is history.
Yeah.
It's such a small amount of money, too.
Yeah, $2,800, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's crazy because when I tell this to these kids nowadays and everything, they're like, no way you bought it for that much. I was like,
it seems
that's
impossible.
how much it was back then. It
seems impossible.
I had the choice between buying a 32 GTR for like less than $3,000 or Toyota. And at the time, I was like, I really like Toyotas and everything. I was like, my dad always had a Toyota and everything. I was like, I want a Toyota. So then I said, fuck the GTR. And I got a fucking Toyota. I got a JZX. I know. Dude, I was like,
$5,000 back then.
Dude, it was $3,000. Yeah. It was 3,000 USD for a GTR.
That's crazy. I can't even imagine.
I could have kept that GTR, hold on to it until like 2021 when the skyrocketed the prices. Sold it for $70,000. I could have bought like 3 JZXs, man. But then it's like I'll be miserable sitting in a Nissan because how shitty they are, and like the interior feels shitty and everything. It doesn't feel right.
I think it's I think you've got to be a Nissan person.
Yeah,
and I think that's the thing too. Like it's very difficult to convert a Nissan person. Like, and I mean, like, not like a half Nissan person, like a real Nissan person.
Yeah,
You can't.
Like a true Nissan enthusiast and everything.
Because if you think about it, it's the other way around. Imagine someone trying to convert you from Toyota to Nissan.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, not happening.
But I will say this, though. If I were to get a Nissan, I would love to get a 180. Type X the whole thing and everything. Keep it stock body and everything. Slam it on some TEs.
Perfect. Yeah, chef's kiss. I mean, I had S13 and an S14. Like Nissans to me, obviously they did feel a little bit more problematic per se. Like you get the VCT rattle in the blacktop SRs and they just sound like a bottom end.
But I will say I have driven them. They feel pretty raw though.
Of course.
They feel so good. Like
they're
driving
like a
and everything.
big, like, and I'm qualified to say because I've had a few MX-5s and I've had a few S chassis cars, and they do feel like they have the same
Sporty.
appeal. Yeah, they've got the same appeal as an MX-5. They just feel longer. They feel like exactly like what they are. More powerful, longer.
Yeah.
That's what they feel like. They feel a little bit more stable. And they feel great. Like no matter what you want to do. I think that to be fair to the Nissan people who are probably like spamming us and sending us hate mail. The fact of the matter is that they're a very versatile car. I wouldn't say that the JZX is a one-trick pony, but it makes a great drift car and it makes a great street car. And not a lot of cars do both.
Yeah.
And so
it does everything.
But like an S chassis car is maybe lesser of a street car, but can do circuit, can do time attack, can do drifting.
But try fitting 10 wheels and tires in the car.
That's right. That's right.
Whereas try carrying your kids to the track and everything.
Correct. And that's what, I think that's what the JZXs do best is that they do the most.
Yeah.
And they don't have to necessarily do everything perfectly. They just do the most. Right?
Yeah.
So, going back to your origin story, you'd come here, you'd ended up in this thing. But I feel like, the only thing I can relate to that, even though my journey is short-lived, it's been a pretty action-packed journey, even in the last couple of days, right? And so socializing with the space that, the car space that we're in and whatever, you find that it isn't so easy to, and like a lot of the introductions come from you.
No.
A lot of the people that we talk to, I talk through you. You're literally my honyaku. Like it's, that's how it works. Like you meet people. Oh, this is my friend. This is the guy that's doing this, blah, blah. So then it's like they're already in a better position. But there's been instances where I've just gone on my own. I'm like, I'm just going to try and talk to these people and try and socialize with these people. And I say these people in the nicest way possible, but they're so far away from me. Right? Yeah. They're so far away.
The communication's tough.
It's tough, man. And there's only, you can obviously speak a certain way and whatever, and then they kind of give you a little bit more time of the day, but we're very far away. It's a big bridge for me to cross. I couldn't imagine what that would have been like because now like you've said, you are a well-respected person in the community. I don't want to
it was tough. No.
You worked hard to get it.
I have, man. The amount of years and everything, man, to be in this car community and everything and be a big part of it and everything. And it's crazy too, like to actually say that I'm well known in the community and everything is crazy. I mean, it took a long time, man. It was a lot of efforts just randomly talking to people and everything. And like back then when I was going through a rough time with my previous relationship and everything, it made me more of like an introvert kind of and everything. But I just kind of had to get out of my circle, talk to them and stuff like that. And also too, it helped me progress my Japanese as well too.
For sure.
Because it would say words that I didn't understand and I would research it. Okay, that's what they meant. They use that a lot. I'm going to use that now and stuff like that. Keep going and everything. Talk to people, figure words out and everything. Google it and stuff. Okay, this meant that, this meant this and everything. And then just now use it and stuff like that, for example, like Otsukare-sama. They always say that. Yeah. They always say that.
Yeah. It's funny because we were leaving Big Bang the other day when I went Archie and stuff.
Yeah.
The same time. Yeah.
And Taka was there, right?
Yeah. That's right.
Taka and Rhea saying that.
No. That was after when he came with Archie brought his missus.
Oh, okay.
So the second time around, I took the kids and G. Went before they left, right? Before they left to Osaka. And that day that we were there was it was a young Japanese couple. Almost looked like they were on a date, but not really. Or maybe like a few dates in. And we were like going and we were laughing, we were having a good time or whatever. And then I was kind of just like loosely throwing out random, because I like making fun of Archie, because I thought Archie was like decent level Japanese. There is no Japanese, but this can't speak any Japanese. I was like, what do you mean, bro? What do you mean? And he's like, chotto. I'm like, that's not chotto, bro. That's nothing, bro. That is janai, bro. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, that is nothing.
Yeah, that's not chotto. That's janai.
That's janai, man. And I was like, okay, whatever. So then I would that's my in-joke with him now. I just kind of say random Japanese things that I know he doesn't understand. And anyway, so then we were kind of just hanging out, and then this young couple came over and they tapped Archie on the shoulder because we thought it was hilarious because he's like the least most approachable looking dude.
Yeah, because he's so big.
He's a big fella.
He's a massive dude. Love you, Archie.
Yeah, and so then they've come over and they tapped on his shoulder and she's like, oh, like, she was trying to communicate, can we go together? And we're like, yeah, let's go. And so then at one stage on that night, it was actually a really fun night. It was like, because you know how they normally pull out 5, 6 carts?
Yeah.
There was 8 carts out that night.
Wow.
Yeah, because they were like, everybody.
That's rare. That's rare when they pull that many carts out.
Because they were like, there were 6 of us, 2 of them. So then they were like, all right, and everybody kind of knew what they were doing. Yeah. So then like we weren't smashing into each other.
You weren't playing bumper cars,
bumper
right?
carts like the other American group that came that night. So we were being very respectful. So then we're like, oh, cool. Well, they kind of gave us a few more carts. And like you said, it is very rare. And I kid you not, at one point we had like 6 of us knew what we're doing, 2 didn't. And we had like a nice little 6-cart tandem going. And even the staff was out in the carts, man.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like a real cool vibe. And then after all of this, we were to leave. The kids had fallen asleep. Me and Archie were talking for a little while and whatever. And then as we were rolling out past the group, we were saying goodbye to them, whatever. We'd had a good night with them, whatever. And I was just like, Otskare, as I drove out. And the girl that had come over and said, she's like, oh, like you just said Otskare. Like, how do they know? Do you know what I mean? It's like cheat codes.
It's a word they use so much, man.
And you got to pay attention.
So much, man.
You got to pay attention. And I guess, going back to that conversational point, like you would have gone through it, bro, like trying to befriend these people because they are very friendly people and everyone knows that Japanese people are friendly. I just don't
I would say the people that are in the car community are more friendlier than normal Japanese people that are not in the car community. For sure. Because they feel more approachable and everything. And they're curious. They kind of want to know, oh, who's this foreigner with this car? Correct. This is a cool car and everything.
Correct. Stuff, yeah. You know? And I do feel like, you know, and like I've been trying to do my best is just showing up all the time. And the great Alexi, shout out Noriaro, was like, you just got to keep showing up.
Yeah.
You just gotta keep
and you did, man. Dude, you're going to these events and everything. And then people are like, I saw you at the last event.
Yeah, I saw you at the last one. And you do. You get a little bit more. And even your friend, Amy.
Yeah.
And like even just because I saw her there with her kids and I was like, oh, you know, like it'd be nice. And she's like, yeah, come to bar on the 20th and we'll have our kids meet. Because I could tell her kids wanted to talk to my kids.
Yeah.
Like I could see, you know, that whole thing where they're kind of just like hanging out. Like, there's a language barrier, but I've always
seen... They're trying.
They're trying. There's playing is a universal language.
Yeah.
So like you
don't need a speaker or anything. You could just play.
Like, it just becomes tiggy, you know, or catch or whatever you guys call it. And then you know, like those sort of scenarios there's been some really tough times for me, no doubt. This whole journey has been really tough.
Yeah.
But
because you're so fast paced and then you come to a slow paced country.
Just put the handbrake up.
Yeah.
You know? And then it's like
it's like let's drive with the handbrake up and then just
Yeah. It's crazy. And so then when you think of like, you know, you think of these situations with, you know, like trying to befriend these people from a distance.
You're getting into the community, man.
Yeah.
You are getting into the community. And it is.
I always think about it as well. I'm like, man, how did you do it? You know what I mean? Like, it would have been so tough, dude.
It was because I literally had to learn everything myself. There was no like cheat sheet or anything, you know. I literally did it all myself. I went to a lot of these events. I met a lot of people and everything. Befriended a lot of people. Befriended shops, and then I started taking people to like shops and everything. And then I got to know people from shops and stuff. I showed up to a lot of events, and then a lot of like famous like D1 drivers like remember me, like Cooney and stuff like that. He remembers me and stuff, and he's like, "You always come to the 1J festival." I'm like, "Yeah, of course." I was like, "I love 1Js and stuff." You know, I got a JZ, I got a Cresta and everything. And funny enough, he actually helped us out a lot. My friend, he was at the JZ festival drifting, and his slave cylinder popped out, and he gave us a tool, everything to use because we came with bare minimum tools and everything. We didn't have the right thing.
If you don't have a truck.
Yeah, and we got his car up and running. He was able to drive it home and stuff like that. And then he was like, "You always come to these festivals." I was like, "Yep, I'll always be here." I was like, "I love these festivals. I love the Jay-Z festival and everything." It was great, man. You just got to show up to these events.
Should have kept going.
Yeah, and it's like people will remember you. It's like. Oh, you're that one guy. Yeah. It's like, oh.
And then I guess the big change will be when they go, oh, he's that guy that does the wheel stuff.
Yeah.
And then that synapse happens, and then the rest is history, right? But you do, you have to. It's a hard thing to do, and I you know, obviously our relationship started over a sarcastic message, and fast forward a couple of years later, here I am, like, you know, you're confident to moving.
And you know, like, and then also too, like, I don't want, because it was so tough for me. I don't want people to go through that. So that's why I get you into the community. I help you out, introduce people and everything. And then, my friends and everything. My friends are your friends. Your friends are my friends. Stuff like that.
It's really amazing. Honestly, it's been like, I didn't, put you on the podcast to tell you that, but like, obviously it helps, and it's not that it helps, it makes it. I think that
I want to make life easier for you, man.
Yeah, well, you have definitely, man. Like it's been so unbelievably helpful having someone that just, that's how you do this. You got to go down to the city hall, or you got to, you normally have to do this. Like it is immeasurably helpful. And then obviously the community feeling and connecting me with certain people and the people that are making all of this possible. And then people go, I trust Jeff, so I'm going to help you.
Yeah.
And that is like, honestly, man, I can't begin to thank you enough. Obviously, there's no way for me to show you my appreciation that's appropriate for YouTube.
Yeah, give me a gobby.
Which we can't do on YouTube.
Yeah.
We can't do that on YouTube. We can do that on
subscribe to Patreon.
Yeah, subscribe
to Patreon.
The link is in the description. You can join the Patreon there and see how I repay Jeff. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like, having friends and things like that, it is, enormously helpful, man. But I think the main thing is that, people that experience it and come and go, and they kind of enjoy your Ibisu Matsuri type, and then you're kind of your first time holiday type, and they kind of come and they experience it. Oh, Japan's amazing. It's like, it is amazing. And I'm going to go out and say that right now, obviously, whether or not it's honeymoon period, I feel like it is the greatest place to live. And you wouldn't have been here for that long if it wasn't.
Yeah. And I mean, hell, dude, was it your first time coming out to Japan, man? Do you remember that?
Oh,
first, 4 days, dude?
Non-stop.
You did the most anybody could have ever done, dude.
It was very
in the
fun.
amount of 4 days, dude. It was
crazy.
Absolutely insane.
We did everything.
And it's crazy because I randomly kind of set it up just really quick and everything, for you. To experience it and stuff,
and everything just fell.
It fell into your lap, like it was so perfect, man.
That was the perfect trip, and that was the one. I remember saying it too. I was like, I'm gonna move out here.
Yeah,
and like I would imagine how many people would say that, especially in this modern.
Not a lot of people can experience what you just did that 4 days, man.
For sure.
Because I mean, I'm in the community and everything, so I was like, hey, talk to my friends, like get them into this and everything. Hey, you want to experience toge? Not a lot of people can.
Not a lot of people can. That was unforgettable. Tokyo was wild. That was
wild. And that still to this day, your profile picture is the one where
I'm hanging out the side.
You're hanging out the side of the Oga's car with the piece out. And everything.
Stays there. That's my line. That's my line profile picture. But that's life. You meet the right people at the right time and everything. And I'm grateful to have met you. That's made everything. It's made everything possible. And I think that obviously there's more to come. And fast friends are good friends, I've always said, and the other thing too is that as this whole journey goes on, I think that, like you said, you don't want somebody else to go through what you went through, and you've made it incredibly easy.
It was tough. It was a long 10 years,
But there's only so much you can do too, right? Like I've got to learn this language of my own, and obviously behind the camera there's, we got Hidari, Migi, and Ue, and Shita, Ushiro, Mae, like all of these things that I'm teaching my son, and we're all trying to learn Japanese at the same time. Like you've got to do it.
You're picking it up quick, man. You were picking.
I'm doing my best.
Your pronunciation's getting so good and everything.
Yeah,
man.
I think it convinces people that I know more than I know. So maybe I should make my pronunciation worse.
yeah. Actually, you know what? Yeah, you probably. No offense, but you probably should.
Pin it back.
Because Japanese people's like definition when you say, "Oh, I know a little bit of Japanese," is they think you know it fluently.
Yeah, correct.
So then they're just like hitting you with a bunch of Japanese. You're like, I literally only know like 4 words. That's it. Like I don't speak the language.
Yeah, chotto dake doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're just
they're like, oh, chotto dake? Oh, you know no Japanese.
You know no Japanese, yeah.
It hits you with that, and it's like height.
Height. My opener, and I think I've got to adjust this opener because then I would always say to them, I'm like, Nihongo wa amari hanasemasen to ganbarimasu. And they're like, oh, right, what do you mean? That's good enough for me.
It's like, hey, let's hit them with machine gun talk and everything.
But I think also, as you know as well, I think that, the effect that has is that it puts you in that situation where you've really got to lock in.
Yeah.
And be like, what are you saying? What are you saying? And then you get a little bit here and there, like, oh, it's one word another word and another verb, another this, another that, and then you start building like, I think that's where he's going with it, and then you kind of know numbers, and then they'll say a sort of number, and then you're like, oh, dude, oh, that's 55. Okay, 55. So I had this situation trying to buy a CPL filter for the lens because shout out Alec Pender, No Plans Co. He was like, get a CPL filter for your lens. And so I went and I asked him, like, and I assumed that it's Shipieru filter, arimasu ka? And he's like, yeah, we got him. I'm like, Matt, that's worked. And so then he's like, all right, Matt, and then like complete rapid fire Japanese. But you try and keep up because I was like trying to explain to him I got more than one lens and blah, blah, and he could understand me and whatever. And you do. Obviously, there is the point where they stop complimenting your Japanese and that's when you actually know Japanese.
Yeah.
While they're complimenting your Japanese, you don't know Japanese. You don't know Japanese. They're just saying that to be nice. Like, but don't know. Like, every time you get it in Hongo Jozo, bro, it's not Jozo.
Yeah.
No,
it's not. Yeah.
It's not as good as you think it is. So then it's like, it's that honeymoon period of like learning Japanese where I'm like in that interim sort of thing.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, you're 11 years later, you're still learning Japanese.
I
Right?
am, man. Like I'm fluent at talking about cars and stuff. Like when it comes to a normal conversation, it's a bit hard. It's not too bad and everything. Like I can get by. But dude, throw me in the hospital or like go to the city hall. That talk, the Japanese words that they use, I do not understand.
And it's a big step. It goes into a step towards more cargo Japanese than kaigo. Keigo. It goes a little bit more intense, right?
Yeah.
So then that's a different situation. But look, I'm sure this is not going to be the last one. I'm sure we're going to do another one because I'm here and I'm going to run out of guests. So I'm going to be like, hey Jeff, come down and do another one. But it's a perfect way to round out the podcast. Like I just wanted to kind of end up on that and give people a little bit of a backing because they're going to be like, who is this Jeff dude, right? And I didn't even think I introduced you to this is Jeff.
Oh, thanks. After the end of the video,
Yeah, it's like an hour and 40 minutes. Oh, this is Jeff, by the way. But I think people are familiar with you. They know who you are. Obviously you're off socials for a little while because that's the right thing to do sometimes. But people know of you and Jeff is a name that gets around.
It's funny enough. Like 2015, like. Drifting was beginning, like it was getting so huge over at Daikoku area, the corner and everything. And I used to post so many videos and I thought to myself, when I was, funny enough, I was 25, I was like, dude, I want to get famous. I want to be famous and everything, So I started posting videos, getting a lot of fucking followers and stuff like that. Dory videos, kept reposting my stuff. And I was like, cool, I'm getting 100 followers, 200 followers and stuff like that. Later on, as I got a little bit older and everything, I'm like, you know what? Who cares about getting famous? Yeah, I was like, fuck getting famous and everything. I was like, you know what? I was like, I think what really matters to me and everything is just like, it was weird. It just hit me. It's like, I want to be known in the Japanese community and everything. And dude, I did it.
You did. You definitely did.
I did it. It took a long time, but I did it, man. Like,
any event that we go to and things like that, there's enough people that see even. It's not like, oh, this guy. Because there's a lot you can read between the lines.
Yeah. I could tell if it's that type of person. It's like, okay, well, cool. All right,
cool.
I'll go fuck off.
Yeah. I'll just go in the corner and go fuck myself.
I'll just go in the corner and goon.
Goon hard. But the thing is that at the end of the day, a lot of these, these people that are seeing you at these events, they know who you are, and you are a well-respected person in the community, and like you obviously get a lot of people that think they just have access to that and be like, hey man, go show me street drifting, and it's like that's totally not on. But I think you've worked hard to get to the position that you're in, and I think that I wanted to kind of highlight who you are in this space because a lot of people don't know.
Yeah,
they might know.
I'm a nobody outside of Japan, but I like to say, like I don't mean to toot my own horn, but now I'm known in the community.
You're the bridge. You're very much a bridge because there's a lot of people that don't do both. Like obviously there's the number of not famous but well-known Aussies that are here.
Yeah, Noriaro, Alexi, shout out Alexi. I mean, he can speak. Like these guys are known, English and Japanese and everything.
Correct. These guys are known, but at a level that's accessible to some people or the people that you believe deserve it, which is totally fair too. Is that you're that sort of bridge between. That it's a language bridge, but it's also a cultural bridge. Yeah. And I think that you play a big part in every experience everybody has that's through you is a totally different experience. Yeah. It's not the same like Daikoku Liberty Walk. Like, do you know what I mean? It's a true proper experience like my first trip was. I would probably say, man, that's probably a life-changing moment, man. Yeah, it was huge. It was life-changing for me. What do you mean? Like, it was intense. That was the most intense 4 days of my life. That was. It was holy cow. It was very full on. It was, and at some point we'll cover off on it a little bit more, but. Yeah, look, man, I wanted to have you on. I wanted to show you to the 823 subscribers I have right now. But you know, it's part of. You're an interesting person. I think a lot of people will be interested in watching it. I appreciate your help. And I appreciate everything you've done for me and my family in the move over here, and it's been really cool. And I'm sure this is part 1 of probably 5. You're going to become a podcast regular because we do this for free. Yeah, we do this all the time. This is like we've just got.
And plus, you're just down the road. Not really down the road, but you're an hour away from me.
An hour. So. Everything in Japan's an hour away. Yeah. Oh my God. Hour to hour and a half, everything's there.
And it's crazy too. Like nobody can fathom. Like sure, 50 kilometers. That's nothing to a lot of people. Of course, to Australia or to the States and everything. Correct. Because signal lights are so far, and like you take a highway, you're going for hours or something. You know, it doesn't seem far. But dude, you are hitting mad traffic, lots of street lights. Oh my God, 50 kilometers takes ages here.
Ages. He said it. I didn't believe him. Now I know.
Yeah. Now you get it, right? Like you still for the longest time you didn't understand, and then you're like, you know what it is? It's the signal lights. I was trying to tell you that, man. I was like, dude, 2 hours away is such a journey here, man. Yeah,
because it's start, stop. It's not like get on the expressway and go. Yeah. It feels closer to drive to Nagoya than it does to Tsugi. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Because you're just going, you know?
Stop. If you get on the expressway and you go, that's it. You're done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, look, I think, like I said, there's going to be a million more of these, I think. And then obviously the more guests we have on, the cooler it's going to get. But I wanted you to be, you know, one of those early podcasts in Japan because it's going to be important. You're going to be doing a few more of them. So, hell
yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, I got many stories.
Oh, I know. We barely
I know. We barely touched the surface of it, man.
We barely did.
I have so many
But it's a good introduction.
Yeah,
I think that we chewed the fat long enough and we got through everything. So I guess on that note, thanks again. Thanks for whoever has joined, whoever's made it through this far. I'm sure it's a long one. I think it's been a pretty long one, but thank you very much for joining this one. I'm sure that we're going to have another one, and I'll upload it as soon as I can. Things are a little bit frantic right now, obviously, but I'll do my best to get another one out. Ganbarimasu. And we'll be seeing you and you very soon. So thanks for watching.
As all the Japanese say to their friends and everything at the end of the day, otsukaresama.
Otsukaresama.